And we're going to start with that by introducing you to a magnificent woman that is in Bel Air, Maryland. So I hope you're staying a little warm there, Jory. Jory Fisher is one of our WOAMTEC directors. She is actually leading a chapter. And hi, Jory. Thank you so much for being here today. Can you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Want to do, right? Not just exist, but thrive. I'm very excited about that, and I am a former attorney, and I'm formerly from Lynchburg, Virginia, and now I live in Bel Air, Maryland. And Kathleen, I think it would be kind of fun if you said a little bit about how I ended up getting connected with WOAMTEC. We have a certain Mary Lou Caskey to thank, but why don't you say a second about that?
I think that's awesome, and you know what I can tell you is when we first spoke, Mary Lou said, I want you to talk to Jory Fisher, and I remember your first call to me, and you were like, okay, so what is your agenda? And I really didn't have an agenda, and the idea of you being a director wasn't even on the radar at that time, and it was just divine. It was definitely a divine meeting, an appointment between the two of us to come together, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping empower and embrace all the women in Maryland, and especially in your Bel Air chapter. But Mary Lou said, Kathleen, I think you should talk. And you know, I think we can all learn from that. If something in your gut, if something inside you says, you know what, this person needs to meet this person, or these two people should talk, you know, hear that as a voice from God, because I really think that sometimes those appointments are very important, and sometimes we ignore them. But I love personally, I like to call it pinging people. You know how you can ping people like on Facebook and say, you know, so-and-so meet so-and-so, and just see how you can make those strategic connections for other people. But Mary Lou, thank you for encouraging me to talk to Jory, because when we spoke, we just kind of said, hey, how can I help you? Who you are? What do you do? Mary Lou thinks we should get to know each other. And now tell them how you went from Virginia to Bel Air and how you've used WOAMTEC as a tool to continue to empower and grow your business.
Happy to do it. It's just been so wonderful for me because I didn't know anybody in Maryland. My husband was transferring from a position in Lynchburg, Virginia to another position in Baltimore, Maryland, and we'd been living in Lynchburg for 20 years. Thankfully, I grew up in the Navy, and so I'm used to that kind of thing. So it's like, okay, let's do it. And I was so excited because I knew that I would be starting up with the WOAMTEC chapter of Bel Air under my belt, and I could go out and say to people, hey, I'm starting this professional women's networking organization. Would you like to be a part of it? So it was a wonderful, wonderful way of entering a community, and we are growing. We already have over 20 members. I consider them my friends. So my church and WOAMTEC, that's it for me right here in the Bel Air community. And now we're expanding. I'm getting to know people in the other, because it's really nice in Maryland, we have other chapters as well, and I'm getting to know those directors. And I just love it. It's been a great way for me to really get involved here in the community. So thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Mary Lou Caskey.
That is awesome. And you know, one thing I want to point out, Jory, is your chapter is continuing to grow. Tell me how are all the ladies doing? What's the experience like in Bel Air?
Oh my gosh, we have so much fun. We're planning for our winter social tomorrow night. But we just have a blast. By the way, we have to add that we do have 2 male members.
That is awesome. Well, hello to all you guys that are out there as well.
Exactly, and they love it. So we come together for lunch, imagine that, and we meet the first and third Tuesdays of the month at a very nice restaurant here in Bel Air called Bellissimo's, and it's just great. We have a lot of fun, and we also have a nice community service effort supporting Harford Family House. We've already done 2 projects with them, and the executive director, Joyce Duffy, is elated. One of the things that we did is each of the members of WOAMTEC Bel Air bought a Christmas gift for one of the residents of Harford Family House. It's a resident for parents and children, and ordinarily the mothers get overlooked at Christmas time because all the emphasis is on the kids. So we decided that we would give a present to each mother. And it was just wonderful. They're very, very, very excited about it. So Joyce Duffy, I know, is thrilled to be a part of the WOAMTEC Bel Air chapter.
That is awesome. Jory, you know, I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties when the show first started. Since you're Skyping in all the way from Maryland, tell us again, I know you have a radio show, you're doing seminars, you know, tell everybody a little bit. We're going to talk about building a thriving life and finding your purpose, but yes, tell everybody a little bit more about your company and what you do.
Oh, thank you very much. What I focus on is helping Christian women entrepreneurs in particular. I work with all women of faith. I do have male clients, but I focus on helping Christian women entrepreneurs get crystal clear on their mission, their purpose, their marketing strategies, and then implement that into their business, integrate it into their business, and implement it in their entire life, both business and professional. And I like to say that I help them glorify God through personal and professional success. So I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I can help with both online strategies and offline strategies. I have groups, and these would be online groups. So I have people calling in from, you could be living in Alaska and I could help you. So I do a small group business or ministry. And I also, as you say, have a radio show. It's Heart and Soul for Women of Faith. And we air on Friday. And I have all of this on my website. I have, oh my goodness, I probably have about 150 recorded interviews of dynamic women like myself. All of this is accessible through my website, joryfisher.com. So I love it. Like I said, I help people in small groups. I help people with individual coaching. I have part of a wonderful team of online marketing professionals. I can help with that. Part of this wonderful offline team of marketing professionals called WOAMTEC. I really enjoy it. Thank you for asking.
That's awesome. You know, I would like to hear from you a couple of tips. Like if you wanted to give, if there's a viewer that's out there that's watching right now that just wants to make sure that 2013 is profitable and prosperous for them, what are some kind of tips would you give them to help make sure that you're staying on purpose?
Mm-hmm. Well, it certainly helps to be connected to a divine authority, right? And so that's what I do in my purpose group. I have groups on purpose, groups on performance, and groups on prosperity. And I lead with purpose because I think that once you are really clear on who you are and what you're meant to do and what transformation you're meant to make in the world, that inspires. I mean, let's face it, it's not always easy to get up in the morning and go charge each day full of vim and vigor. I mean, maybe you do, Kathleen, but I think for the rest of us, sometimes it can be a little bit challenging. And checking in and, you know, knowing who it is that you are, what you're wired to do, what your divine mission is here on earth, that really does help you get going. So I think that is one absolute tip. I love my method, but of course there are other ways of getting clear on your purpose. Whatever it takes, whatever you do, I think you really need to be clear on your calling, your divine calling. So that's one tip. Another tip, and it's why I have another group on performance. Another tip is that you really have to stay motivated by making sure you're nourishing your soul, you're nourishing your body. I love the fact that we have somebody here on this Friday talking about how to get your body shape in a purposeful way, and that's extremely important. We have to be intentional about keeping our body in shape. So we need to nourish our soul, nourish our body with healthy eating, healthy exercise, and surround ourselves with good friends. I'm all about relationships, relationship to God, relationship to yourself. You have to have a very healthy self-image, and your relationship to others. So those would be my tips, absolutely, without a doubt.
That is awesome. And for anybody that kind of connected with that, and I'm so glad that you picked up on the fact that we really did try and plan our three guests today purposely and on purpose. For those of you that may have connected with that and maybe feel like you're not living you know, as divinely as you should be, maybe feel like you're not living on purpose, maybe feel like you're not living as healthy as you can be, I hope you do reach out and connect with different people. Jory's Facebook page can be found on her WOAMTEC profile, or you can find her through her website that she mentioned. And I can tell you, she mentioned the interview that she did with me. It was probably the most raw interview I have ever conducted. So it was, thank you, Jory, for helping me get real with myself and share things. You caught me off guard more than once and actually helped me tell the real story of who I am and what my purpose is and why I get up every day. And no, you're right. Everybody gets up sometimes happy and perky, and sometimes they just need that extra little kick to help them move forward. And as your year continues and you're looking at your goals and your resolutions and, you know, the things that you want and the things that you desire, when you get knocked back down, the thing to remember is you do have a purpose, and just pick yourself back up and keep moving forward, because success is not where you are today. Success is not where you're going. Success is how far you've gone from where you started and how many times you keep moving forward. And it doesn't matter if it's in your life, in your business, or with you personally as far as your health is concerned. So Jory, thank you so much. Please tell us real quick a little bit about the upcoming workshops that you have, in case there is anybody that needs to find their purpose.
Oh, thank you very much. We start on January 30th if you want a Wednesday group, and that will be for 10 weeks, or January 31st if you want a Thursday group, And if you message me on Facebook, and that's Jory Fisher, and of course, as you said, you can find me either through the WOAMTEC directory or on our WOAMTEC page. But if you send me a message or send me an email at jory@joryfisher.com, I can fill you in with the details. I don't want to go into all of that right here. But I'll have a Wednesday morning group and a Thursday afternoon group, and you can take your pick. It'll last for 10 weeks. And I am giving a 20% discount to my WOAMTEC sisters and brothers, but primarily sisters. And we will be going through getting really clear on your essence, which is who you are at your core, your blessing, which is what is that transformation that you're able to bring about in the lives of other people, your mission, what is that overarching task or problem that you're meant to solve here on earth, and then your message, what is the wisdom that you're meant to share with the world. And so it'll be a 10-week kick butt, wonderful, wonderful workshop on the phone to help you get really clear again on your essence, blessing, mission, and message. And it would be my honor to take through this workshop those women who are listening and members of WOAMTEC. It would be so great. So that's what we'll do, and we start at the end of January. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you know what, thank you so much for sharing that. I know that you have always believed personally into having a lot of mentors and having a lot of support from different people. And you know, when I taught college at the university, one of the things the dean taught me is he said, Kathleen, if you spend your life teaching others, you will sustain and you will be great. But if you surround yourself with people that can continue to teach you, you will not only be able to teach others more, but you will continue to grow and to thrive and become the person that you're destined to become. And that always stuck with me, because it doesn't matter how successful you are, it doesn't matter how great you are, if you surround yourself with people that are smarter, wiser, and more successful than you, they will lift you up and pull you to a place that you never thought you could be. So, Jory, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for being on the show today. Thank you for all you do in Bel Air. I know that if people like your Facebook page and if they sign up on your website for more information, you're going to have lots of prizes that you're going to be giving away. So that is super fun and super cool. And just God bless you in Maryland. Stay warm, and thank you for being on the show today.
My pleasure. Have fun with the other guests. I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
Okay, I'm not letting you off the cut completely. Don't go yet. Don't disconnect her. One last question. What is the biggest obstacle or challenge you have ever faced in your business, and how did you pick yourself back up from that?
Ooh. I would say the biggest obstacle was making the decision to join an extremely high-end mastermind group. And I learned so much for them. I was in it for a year. Kathleen, you and I have talked about it. I learned so much from them, but I couldn't handle the fact that I was spending so much money. And it just really, oh my gosh, it just threw me for a loop. And so the way I handled it, you know, I just didn't go into a deep depression. It was like, all right, these are the numbers I need to make in order to recoup the money that I invested in that mastermind group. And I'm just plugging away at those numbers, and I'm just doing what I need to do. I am encouraged. I joined WOAMTEC, which is excellent, and I love the offline marketing. And then, as I said, I also joined another amazing group led by Ann Sieg for online marketing. And I am just so optimistic and so excited about the future, and I'm just picking away at I mean, as you know, when you start a business, you can invest a lot of money. And I did invest a lot of money in starting my business. And so I just have a plan, and I'm fulfilling that plan, and I'm thriving, and it's really excellent. I'm so glad you asked that question. Thank you.
You're welcome.